come what may.
There's so many people that have influenced me along the way. Obviously, as I talked about, my mom was probably my biggest musical influence at the beginning because she's the one that got me kind of rolling. And then when she realized that I was taking more of an interest to music than just like a passing something to do during the day, or then it was time for piano lessons. And there was a guy in Central Square where I grew up named Rudy Streckle, and he was the one that taught me how to play piano and took me from just the basic chords and scales that my mom had taught me, and really brought me into the fact that I can play classical music, I can play old ragtime music, I can play popular music. And he was the one that really took it up from there. And then, the musical influences that I had came in from so many different directions. So I have two older brothers, and both of them they love music as well. So, they're the ones that introduced me to Kiss and to Lynyrd Skynyrd, and then that led me to finding Metallica, and the floodgates kind of opened at 13, because that was like when I started. My brothers were out of the house. I was on my own, so my influences musically were coming from them up to that point. But then I hit 13 and I started listening to so many other different styles of music. I started listening to the radio. I started listening to Soundcheck with Dave Forcina, which is still on to this day. So I started listening to the local musicians, and then I got a membership to Columbia House, because everybody got a membership to Columbia House. So then MTV blew up. So my entire world as a teenager consisted of three things: going to school, playing football, and music. And that was pretty much about it. And if I wasn't doing one of those things, I was doing the other two things, or vice versa. So the musical influences were constantly there. Or, whether they were talking to me directly or indirectly is a different story. And I think as I got older, I got influenced by some of the musicians here in Syracuse. The first band that I got into in Syracuse that I never got to see because I was too young was a band called the Masters of Reality. And they were like, when I was a kid, the band that was going to make it. They got signed by Rick Rubin. They were going to be on Deaf American Records. And they went out there, and it was like, they just had this sound that was so uniquely different than anything that's else that was going on, either in Syracuse or in the musical landscape. So they influenced me. And then years later, after I went to college to go to do something else, because everyone kept telling me, well, you can't just be a musician. You're going to be a starving artist, and that's not a real career. So I went to college to become a history teacher. I was going to be a social studies teacher. I played football in college. But when I got done with college, I'm like, I don't want to do any of this. I want to play music. I want to do something in music, whether I'm going to be in a studio, whether I'm going to be in a band. I don't know what it is. So I came back to Syracuse from going to school in Rochester, and I dove into the local music scene. You guys like the music that you just heard? Well, that was me. It was created by me, written by me, mixed by me, whatever you want to call it. So if you guys really dig what you heard, you can check out the links in this video and also future videos. And make sure you subscribe to the Faces of Syracuse here on YouTube.